this is my sister-in-law, and in 1979, the eight family of us want to, to be a family band. So to be a family band, we have to get something to show that we are all together. So we decide to come to Crown Derby and get these plates. And to certain that the plate is ours, they sign the names in Crown Derby of when we buy it and what year and what we're going to do. To be a family band is we would collect money from the eight of us and keep it together. If anything happened in Jamaica, we could send each other, one of the family, we would pay the money, and then that family can go free. And then we continue by 79. 3 years after, we're supposed to continue with the plates. That 3 years after, we go again and get a next family band with two 2 years. So we continue doing it until next time one of the family passed away, so we could not continue with it, but we still keep them as the family band. So
who chose the design? Why did you choose that design?
I think what did happen, all the ladies go and choose the pattern, not the husband. They stay at home, and we went come to the factory and then choose the design which one we did want.
And why Crown Derby in particular? Why was it this place?
Because to us, Crown Derby is like we live in Derby, so why not take Crown Derby as the design? So we come around and we explain in the factory out there, and they tell us what they can do for us, and we all go and buy these and do that. So, but we was going to continue all the year on, but because of some of us passed away, so we could just have to do that, and we still keep as friends, family. Some in Jamaica at the moment. We have my sister-in-law and my cousin-in-law, and all of us together, still in Derby. So,
and what does Crown Derby mean personally to you?
To me, I really like the place because once a month or twice a month, or so when I've got the time, I would come to the factory. I would go to have a cup of tea and biscuits and cake, and then I buy things for the girls. I've got 4 daughters, and so I do buy plates and things, and then for birthday, friends. If anybody have a wedding or anything, I would buy whether a plate or something and give them as a present. Because I do love Crown Derby.
And is it the quality? Is it the luxury? What is it?
The quality is perfect. And every day you can look at it and say, this is it. This is the real thing. I do, because I've got plates and I've got little cups. I've got a lot of, it's not these alone, I've got a lot at home.
You've got a collection.
I've got a collection of all different things. I've got that one, that color there.
Okay.
I've got it at home. I've got so much that I don't know how the cabinet hold it. Because I love Crown Derby so much, all the time. So when they shut the gate there, it was so sad. I couldn't be able to come and do shopping or even go and have a cup of tea. So,
And what do you think this means about collecting stories from the black community about Crown Derby items?
oh, that would be nice, because that would help us to improve us more, and the younger ones. We older ones know, but I just wish the younger people could come up and understand what life is and show them the way of how to do things. So let's start this, whatever you want to do, and keep Derby going. So
So you mean bringing the community
Yeah.
together, the black community together?
yeah, and make let Derby, Crown Derby could bring back everything that everybody can get. Because I've buy a lot of plates and things. I've seen my mom in Jamaica before she passed away. She got plates, what I bring out when I was going out for her. So my cousin there in Jamaica, they got it still. So we just have to just keep on going and asking them for everything to do.
It keeps the link, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Because what
yeah,
it's
yeah,
got,
yeah.
you've given it to
Your
your mum, and then and then your cousins have got it. It's that
We
generational
shall
link,
continue.
and that link brings it back to your root being in
Yeah,
Derby, doesn't
Derby,
it?
yeah, so
exactly. So
that's
it makes that that connection.
my daughter, they're supposed to got plates. Cassandra, the one in Oxford, she got plates. What birthday, 21st birthday, and every year I try to buy something to give them to keep Derby.
I believe she's done a recording as well, so she'll send that through.
Yeah.
It's to continue the story. Really, it's just that. I do remember that we were going to, you were deciding to take it, every year, that there would be some symbol of the family bond, but we just had one for the beginning and then one for the end. And in my memory, the end was the fact that some of the members were actually going to do what we heard you say, that the dream was always that you come here for 5 years and then you go back, but it just took that little bit longer. And then, but some of us within the family, the dream came true, and the 2000 is just an indication of when and we celebrated with them, they moved back to Jamaica. So yeah. And what they were doing was that the plates was a way of taking Derby back with them to mark that occasion. And I remember one of the things, I'm sure that when this plate was being decided upon, it wasn't as smooth as it appears. There was a lot of toing and fro. I can remember the decision for a plate was like, it wasn't decided upon as simply as, yes, let's go and get another plate. I think there was something where, why do you want to do that? But it turned out it was the best thing to encapsulate that memory of us being joined as a family. But the idea that the bond has kind of finished, it hasn't, because it continues. The story of that connection still continues in my mum and in yourself. So that bond continued. I mean, the bond was a way of just as I understand it, as the family helping each other, because banks and all those sorts of things weren't amenable and openly amenable to us in the way that we wanted. And that savings scheme was something that you brought. Because I remember hearing it. It's not just within us, but it was something that was brought within the black community. That was a way of saving. What you did is called partner. And that's the way they save, because going into a bank and asking for a loan, they looked at you and judged you as not being able to repay the loan. and have security to back it up. You know, it was almost as though you went in and you wanted to say, "Give me the money," but you said it in such a nice way. But they felt that they were going to be robbed. But this way, we knew that we could support each other. So you agreed a certain amount, you saved it, and you put it into one bank under a family name, and then you had a couple of people for the signature as per usual. And that's the way we supported each other. So you supported each other in, because we've used it, benefited from it. We borrowed and said, can we use it to buy certain items that we know? And then we had a way of being able to pay it back. So that's why these plates are not just plates, but it tells something about who we are, how we've had to live, how we've supported each other, and that's what these plates speak. And that's why they're so important to us. I mean, when we look at this plate, that's the memory that's encapsulated in that.
What it means.
What it
really
means.
means.
Exactly.
Definitely.
It's a triumph because we've got some members that went back. A bit longer than 5 years, but they achieved it. You know, and we were there to support that happening. And then at the same time, it showed how you taught us to be able to support each other, you know, so that, because money is a very difficult thing to talk about. It's something that you don't want to be open about, you know, you don't say how much you earn and you don't say how much you give. But in this way, it was showing a generosity. This is how we're going to help each other to make sure that each of us can actually achieve with and in some ways that has rubbed off on us, because that's how we've tried to continue to support each other. If we see that there is a need, hopefully we will respond. And okay, the bond or the item of the bond becomes something else, but it continues, you know, and that link that ties us together, well, it grows stronger, you know, and that's what I think is symbolic of this Crown Derby. One, it as it was said before, it anchors us and says that this is where our story begins in this. Sorry, I don't know.
I was a bit nervous.
Begins. Okay. How our story began, because our generation, we are here in Derby, and how the story came from the Caribbean, Jamaica specifically for us, to here, and then how it's gone back. But you know, that's what this symbolises to us. It's not just a plate with a picture and of poses and things like that. It has, although you know, if I was thinking that, oh well, you know, this is part of my heritage, I might say, well, if I sold it, I probably wouldn't get the value of what it was purchased. But nevertheless, that's not the point. The point is that when I have this plate, or this plate is passed on, we can then get together again and retell this story to the generations that come, that this is what this means, this is what has happened, this is what has been achieved by us as a family, and this is what we want to continue. You know, I mean, my auntie has hers in a display cabinet. Well, my mum likes to use hers. So this plate is actually used. So she likes to use hers, and she has some others that are items that are Derby border plates. That's from Crown Derby, and she purchased them for the use, and also we've been brought up with the idea that there's good, better, best. You know, so they come out at certain particular times, but they are to be used, and through her desire to, to purchase this plate and have it, she's always directed us to do our own collection in China, in other Chinas that exist. Anything that is of significance and worth and value, So she's pointed us in that direction. Then in that way, we've developed our own interest in collecting items.
What do you use these? What do you use them? You did it.
She puts a dinner on it. She uses them. Yeah, and she's got an Amari mug, which she uses. I mean, she actually likes you to present her with it for her cup of tea.
I've seen that.
Yeah. So I realise you use that.
It's actually her dinner plate.
Right.
So it's been washed and cleaned, so that the mark's not there. She was worrying about it the day before, saying, "Oh, isn't it for Alison? Isn't it for Alison?" I said, "It's all right. It's okay. It's fine." I think she's more concerned that I was going to break it because too often she's heard the crash and found the items nicely placed before her in bits. So of course she's worried about that. But she likes to use the items as much as she can when she purchases them. And the second shop has been an important place for us, because I mean, that's where we used to come, just as you said, Auntie, that you used to go there and you were able to browse the first generation items that they used to do here, but you could buy it because there was a slight mark that you'd need to be a specialist to be able to see. But that's where she went, and that's where she took my sister to go and purchase her dinner plates. So she's got Crown Derby dinner plates, and I personally have bought it as a gift for my friends, because whilst I was at college, I wanted to give them something, and I thought to myself, well, what am I going to give? And I thought, well, I want to give them something that is from my hometown, and so why not give something from Crown Derby? And it's also something that they could then collect if they wanted to. And I think that Crown Derby, because it's got the Derby, that is the significant bit. The Derby is what makes it an important connection to anyone within the community.
There's not a lot of places have that.
No, they don't.
Connection with something as grand as this.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. You couldn't go to. Well, I can't think of a place really. Probably Nottingham. I don't think Nottingham. I'm not sure.
I don't think
they
any
have.
of the places roll Worcester.
Yeah, Worcester.
But
Yeah. So
I mean,
to have
apart
that.
from-
To have that where you live.
Yeah.
And where you've been brought up.
And I actually have it in the name.
Yeah.
I know that Stoke-on-Trent is the centre of pottery, but this one has actually got the town itself.
Definitely.
Is it true that the Queen don't like them?
Well, that's not a conversation we want to have.
The Queen buys them to give as gifts to other people.
Yeah.
So, what that says about her personal taste,
So is there something about the materials as well? Because it's like a fragile material, but when fired, it's solid, and that says something about the bond. Do you know what I mean? It's fragile, but when fired,
It's
solid, and it's there's that bond there. I think there's so much you could get out of everything. It's more Crown Derby.
Yeah. So, I think the shop or something like that makes it accessible. It makes it accessible, that free flow between, for the common person. That's what I'm talking about. I know that there are ways in which to purchase things if you want to, but for the common person, it gives them that freedom to be able to go in, feel, look, browse, and it's also a way of then telling other people. You know, it's a way of telling other people. You know, you tell people, oh, you know, well, where did you get? Oh, don't you know? Derby Crown Derby's got their shop.
Yeah.
Really, and you know that's how.
And you can buy a small piece which is affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, you know, I mean, I used to buy one of these lovely pieces, but and 1,000 of them, but at least you can buy like one piece, but you've got a piece which has got, like, say, Derby on it.
Yeah.
And it's affordable. And even as a present, it's still affordable to somebody. If you wanted to give something, give it as a gift.
Exactly. And then if you do have ambitions for the wedding gift that is, you know, part of the tick list that we now have, you can actually sort of go into the shop, gives you some person to talk to, who then can link you into something else that that Crown Derby can offer. So I think the shop is a really important connection for the community, and it's the shop that for me I remember, you know, because it's a place that I remember going to and browsing and looking at and would return to.
Great, thank you. Thank you.